Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. It is an update on this little yew we repotted a few weeks ago, and I'll show you the work we have to do today. So the tree grew well since our last repotting, and the new buds have emerged, and what we see now is we have really strong buds at the tips and small buds here. This is a strong bud, this is a quite weak bud. Now, if we want other buds to open on the older wood, we have to pinch back the strongest buds now. It is a good time to do that because they are not really dark green, not yet, and they are quite soft. So that's what they call the soft pinching, and that's what you should do now. So, how do you do it? You just take the new growth between your fingers and pull out a piece of material. It will stop this bud to grow and will allow the energy to go to these buds. So remove half or 2/3 and that's okay. The weak buds will remain untouched until they grew out like this one did. It's not a whole lot of work, but it is really important. See? All these new buds will die off or do nothing if you don't give them a chance. So this very unspectacular work is done, but it is really important to do it, and we'll see within a few weeks what we can do next for this tree. Some time has passed now from the pinching. For me it's been weeks, and for you it's seconds, I guess. And let's have a look at the results. Now, lots of the little buds that were emerging have been elongating now and are, well, you can call these a branch now. Now the new growth is still a little lighter green than the old growth, but let's get in to see the beginning of the color change. On these leaves you can see that the light green is turning slowly into a more darker green. I also noticed that the new growth this year is a little longer. That's probably because I watered the tree a little too much, but that's okay. What I'm going to do today is first of all remove all the wire from this tree, because I'm thinking that it might start to cut in, and then do some pruning on the new growth. So first I will unwire the tree. This little branch is dead. I tried to save it, but there was nothing to do about it. So let's get all the wire off this tree. When you unwire a tree without cutting the wires, like I mostly do, it is always important to do the movement in the opposite direction. So you have to sustain the branch that you are unwiring, because you want to remove the wire from the branch and not the branch from the wire. I'm almost done now. The good thing about unwiring before you do some pruning is that you saw every detail now of the new growth on the tree, and yeah, it's quite impressive. There's a lot of new growth, small but healthy. Few more to go here. One thick wire was slightly starting to bite in. But no harm done. So I'm glad I removed the wire now. And that was the last one. So let's get in and see what we have now. Now the goal of what we are going to do today is to get more green inside the tree and have more branching. If, for example, you look at this branch, you see we have lots of new buds, which it's fantastic, and it means that we can get rid of some of the thicker branches at the end of the tips. For example, this thick piece here I can get rid of because I have a new bud here. So I'm going to cut back a lot of the new growth from this year, but still remaining, leaving a few needles, because the tree has to have new foliage in order to regain its vigor and do something about its photosynthesis. This was my main branch last year here on this piece. I have a whole lot of new buds here, so this is already starting to be a nice little plateau, so that's cool. Lots of new buds here. So this is one of the top branches. A whole lot of new growth here, and there's nothing here. Maybe I can get some back budding there. Some branches I have double now. I'd like to have some more back budding on this one, because this is supposed to be the apex. So I'll cut back a little. This branch has done well too. It started from here. I have a new bud emerging there. I have a small one waiting here. It will not do anything till I cut back a little the other foliage. So I guess you have the point now. I have a new bud here. I'd like to have some more branching there, so let's get this a little shorter. So I'm gonna continue this for the whole tree. You should never remove the entire new growth. Always leave 2 or 3 needles, and all the stuff that is very weak and still emerging you can remove. If, like here, you have a lot of new growth, well, then remove everything from last year. It is not sure that I'm going to have a lot of new growth on this tree this year, but cutting back now means that a whole lot of new buds will form. And you're gonna end up with a luxury problem, which is of course what we want. Having too much growth. If you see a split in tree, that's what you want to remove. I have one here, and I remove that one. One should become two, so you have better branching. Now is a good time to have a view at the overall two-dimensional silhouette of the tree, and you see that it's starting to have this rounded triangular form. This might be a little better, but I already cut here and this might take over. This is getting a little leggy. I have a small bud here just at the base. It's sad, but never going to use it. Same here. So the tree has been unwired now and pruned back in order to get always the same, more back budding from the interior. And this season, it's the end of June, we are trying to prepare some new buds to open up next year. So it's not sure that I'm going to have a whole lot of new growth this year, but it will be for next year. That concludes the video for today, so I give you a quick 360. So I'll keep you updated on this tree. Thank you for watching and see you next time.